Hello, my name is Matisse Cavodi. I'd like to welcome you guys to my channel. Today we're going to talk about a pretty good Spider-Man story arc that came out in 2006 in Sensational Spider-Man issues 23 to 27, written by Roberto Aguirre-Sacasa. Does a pretty good job. It's a pretty entertaining story. We have killer art by Angel Medina. And the only problem I have, one of the few problems that I have with this story arc, is that Clayton Crain does the art to 2 issues. Well, I do like his work, but I do like his work when he does stuff on his own, not working in tandem with other artists, because his style is very different. So it's like there's a big contrast between Medina's work and Clayton Crain, almost to the point that it sort of takes you out of the story. And one of the character designs of Clayton Crain, of one of Spidey's villains, it just doesn't work for me. So without further ado, we're going to get into the stuff I liked and stuff I didn't like about this particular story. Spidey, during this time, is living in the Avengers Tower. He's having a really good relationship with the Avengers. He's on the team as of this moment. Goes out to patrol the streets, comes across Vulture, and the main theme to this story is that all the animal-based villains within New York City, which mostly are Spider-Man villains, are flipping out. Something's pushing them to the edge, making their animal instincts go crazy. He crosses paths with Vulture, and it really sets the tone to this story is really dark because Spider-Man's like asking Vulture why the hell was he picking people off the streets and just letting them fall to their deaths. And Vulture replies, "Don't you know vultures eat dead things?" And so that sort of sets the tone for this story. Then we cut to the Lizard, actually Kurt Connors. He's feeling those lizard urges bubble up. He gets a call from a museum. They're asking him to go see a rock, and he tells the guys from the museum, it's like, "Hey, I study lizards, so you're going to find this rock pretty interesting." So cut away. Spidey defeats Vulture. Later, we see Peter Parker going to the zoo, seeing all the animals have flipped out. They killed each other. So things get pretty dark pretty quickly. We also have John Jameson having, it's like a little subplot there where John Jameson, who transforms into this like weird werewolf, has a little chat with Mary Jane, and then he's going to try to hunt her down and flip out as a werewolf there too. And one interesting thing about the story is that Mary Jane's not liking the fact that they're living in the Avengers Tower. She just doesn't like the idea of being there. She's having problems adjusting to her new life there. And to a point, while Aunt May sort of like digging the whole situation, like so there's like a little bit of friction between both of these characters. And the next villain will be. I don't know. That would have been cool to see Wolverine in this story. Man, that's that would have really worked. But we have the Lizard. He's going on full homicide lizard mode. For some reason, his kid also converted into the lizard. So Spidey has to deal with his classic villain and his kid. Sort of catches him off guard. The battle ends up on the roofs of the city, where we have Black Cat. I'm very congested. That's why I'm having issues pronouncing. Black Cat jumps in to give Spidey a hand. So we have Black Cat, Spidey versus Lizard and Little Lizard, where things sort of get out of hand. And Spidey, in one moment of the battle, we also get Vermin, who, this character, for some reason, he always grosses me out. It's like, I love to hate him. He just gives me, he makes my stomach churn every time I see him. So the problem is Black Cat is having issues restraining herself, obviously, because her powers will have like this animal motif too. So she's like sort of going crazy, almost killing the Lizard. Little Lizard gets shot because this old guy flips out, also shoots the kid. So Kurt Connors' son almost gets killed. The Lizard himself makes a run for it into the sewers. So Spidey goes to the Fantastic Four to help save this kid's life. While the Fantastic Four are having to deal with Mole Man's monsters are all surfacing and causing trouble in New York City, probably because of the same reason. So we get this whole big mystery: what the hell's going on? What's driving all these animal-based characters? Um, what's making them all flip out? Having all these animal-based characters, and they are sort of like monsters. Like Angel Medina's art just really lets loose. He's able to do, especially like with characters with the lizard and stuff like that. His art really shows off. Spidey realizes that things are getting pretty tough. He might be in over his head, so he starts using for the first time the Iron Spider costume. This is the first time we get to see it in action. We get to see those Iron Spider arms. This costume is awesome. I really liked it. We have the first issue with Clayton Crain's art, which it's really good. I just don't like the contrast with his work in contrast with Medina's work. During this part of the story, Puma also pops up. He has a little clash with Black Cat to help her blow off a little bit of steam, and they decide to help Spidey in his investigation and trying to stop or control the situation, which they don't really know what's going on yet. And here's what I was talking about. What I didn't like, Clayton Crain's interpretation of Lizard. Oh, it's just terrible. It looks like a crocodile. And it's nothing to do with what Medina did in the previous issue. Like, he didn't even check out his design, because the design between both of these characters is just nothing to do with each other. Vermin's design, a little bit better. I like it a little more. But Vermin and Lizard start clashing in Central Park. Spidey's trying to control the situation. He's able to stop him thanks to his new body armor. He sees that things are really going off the rails at the Natural Museum, where we have Stegron. So Stegron's the one behind this whole situation. I found it, on one hand, it's really cool. I have a real soft spot for these super obscure villains. Like Stegron, I've only seen him 1 or 2 times in Spidey comics, at least within my collection. And so that was sort of cool, but it sort of feels anticlimactic. I would have liked to see a more relevant villain, and more of an interesting reason why this villain did this. Because what we get is that Stegron found this magical rock in Savage Land, maybe, takes it to New York City, and wants to make the dinosaurs come back, and that's his whole plan, and that's it. But it's sort of like his gift to humanity to bring back the age of dinosaurs and stuff like that. And sort of when Spider-Man finds out that he actually did this on purpose, that he's not just a victim of this, the Rock of Life, it's called. That's, at least in Spanish, that's how they translated it. It sounds like a really bad rock ballad from the 80s, the Rock of Life. So, but Spidey, when he discovers he's not just a victim of the situation, he's the one that caused it, Spidey actually sort of flips out. And he uses his suit to stop the magic coming out of this asteroid or rock. I don't know what it would be. He pulls out those new Spidey claws that were part of Spidey during that time, that were sort of weird. And he gets really pissed off with Stegron. He totally flips out, but like Stegron's like totally broken, that his beautiful gift to humanity is gone. And Reed Richards is the one that disposes of this magical rock or radioactive asteroid. I don't know what was the thing with it, but the story ends. It's a pretty fun read. I didn't say spoiler warnings before this started, but it's just a fun ride. It's not too deep, but it's a pretty entertaining story. So see you guys next time. Bye.